What's up, guys? How you doing? It's 8:40 in the morning, and I am live for the first time in a hot minute. And I'm excited to be here. I've got so many chats open. Oh my goodness, this is terrifying. I need moderators. I need moderators. Stat. Nope. Okay, I want to see the chat there. I want to see the chat there. And I want to see the chat there. Okay, guys, so let's count how many places I'm streaming right now. I'm streaming on Riverside, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, and I'm live in school, which is fantastic. Hopefully the internet connection is good. It'll come and go, I'm sure. Alas, let's see how the audio quality. Great. It sounds wonderful. All right, guys, let's do this. I got a new shirt from my friend Erica, the colorful coach. It says reflector on it, and there's a moon, which I love. Yeah, I'm stoked about it. I also got new lights. That's another reason why I'm live, because I got new lights. Uh, Vivian, good morning from YouTube. My people on YouTube get the notifications. That's pretty cool. What's up, YouTube landers? Guys, a lot has happened since I have been live. A lot has happened. My entire schedule has changed. I now wake up at the wee hours of the morning. I'm awake at the witching hour, sometimes even 3, sometimes 2 a.m. to hold my tiny little daughter over her little potty so that she can learn how to poop in her little potty. Which, admittedly, at first I thought was kind of ridiculous. Like, oh, I'll just buy diapers. I'm not of the scarcity mindset that like I need to do this so that I don't have to spend money on diapers. Like, I can afford diapers, and yeah, I can afford diapers, thankfully. But it's not about diapers or the chemicals and stuff in them. It's about the sovereignty of my little baby. Like the ability for my daughter to have a line of communication with me, one where she can just like look at me and throw me like a little hand sign or say some things, and I'm actually listening, and I'll be like, "Hey, oh, do you want to poop? Okay, great. Let's go poop." It's the craziest thing. It's the most rewarding thing ever. Like, like satisfying videos of, they have that like hydraulic crusher that's just crushing things. The sound of my daughter's little poop coming out into her little tiny potty and having it be like a rhythmic thing, like it's not like I'm just holding her over it for half an hour. It literally is like once I put her over it, it's like within 2-3 minutes she's pushing and pooping. It's really cool. I I'm surprised at the level of communication that I have with my little. She's 5 months, and we've been doing this elimination training, is what they call it, for probably the past month, and it's been going great. And I'm very happy I started doing it because of how it's changed me. But anyway, enough about my daughter's poop. What about you guys? How are you doing? Don't mind me, I'm just putting on some socks because it's cold here on Maui. What about you guys? How is your human design journey going? Do you have any questions? Do you want any help? It doesn't have to be about human design, mind you. These lives are kind of like all over the place. So feel free to shoot over any kind of questions or anything that you got going on. We're currently in the transit of the heart. Got gate 26 in the sun, and we got gate 45 in the earth, or the earth in gate 45. And both of those are in the heart. So there's a lot of like will and ego. And I said, I'm going to do it, so I'm going to do it. Or proving yourself. And like with the transits energies, a lot of them are sort of like friends that come in from out of town. And, you know, they can divert you from your rhythm or they can join in on your rhythm. And neither is good nor bad, just something that is. And so being able to watch that happen in real time is very cool. So anyway, where are you studying it? In my body. I'm just studying it here. I have read this book front to back multiple times. This is the one I recommend if you want like classical human design information. Um, I've listened to a lot of the lectures that Ra has done. I've done a lot of self study. I've never been a go get a certification. I've been learning, studying, applying human design for 10 years now, and I've always kind of been this heretical way, especially when I found out I'm a 3-5 reflector on the cross of rulership. I'm like, so where is the education that people can actually access? And the book is, $50, but compared to the courses that are thousands of dollars, I'm very much so like a Robin Hood, which is one of the reasons why I'm teaching a free human design course on January 21st. It's the Brave New Year. Um, I'm teaching it in my school in the archive, and it's something that I've been wanting to do for a long time, but I haven't had the resources and the community over in the archive, the paid portion of the community, the premium users over there are enabling me to be able to teach human design to all of you for free. So don't thank me, thank the premium members in my community, in me and Pasha's community. Thank the premium members because they are the reason why people are getting a free human design course in January. Heard of TGIJP, stands for transgender gender variant and mobile homo. That's a funny name. D Nova. Yeah, self-study intuitively. Like I'm not against the institutions. I'm just aware that they're sort of falling apart. We're a group of mostly black and brown people working for our collective liberation. Right on, mobile homo. Do you want to talk about human design? So I just got the book and need to get into it. Just got interested in astrology because of my baby. HD seems like the next way to go. I'm here to listen. Yeah, and there's so many different things to study. Straight up, like there's so many different things to study. Um, Human design, astrology, this yoga, that yoga, this fitness trend, that fitness trend. And what Pasha and I have endeavored to do, because we've studied so many of them, is consolidate the best of the best, all of the information that actually we can apply and work and is usable and is not just like creating this aggrandizement of theories. We put that in one place, and that's what we have with the archive. Ishan, random hangout. What is this new tier of calls? Now this is just a random hangout, bro. I mean, it's technically not a random hangout. I wonder if can I change that name? No, I can't change the name. It's not a random hangout, Ishan. Thanks for. I'm new to school, boy, so I'm like, oh, I gotta name it something better. This is just my lives. I'll go live on like all the platforms. Bro. I have like 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 separate chats open. I got school. I got Instagram because Instagram won't integrate with Riverside. Then I have Riverside streaming to YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and then TikTok on my phone. And it's maddening, but I feel like a reporter. So I set it up where I've got my main camera here and my phone right here, which is amazing. So anyway, yes, I teach mindfulness-based yoga. Awesome. Any interest in retreats building in the new future? Yeah, totally. I'm definitely, yes. We are definitely going to do retreats. Me and Pasha met at a retreat. And so it was one of those things where we were doing a lot of retreats together. And so when we built the archive, one thing that I wanted to do though was leverage the interwebs, make it accessible no matter where you are on the planet. Because retreats are expensive. The retreats we were hosting was like $5,000 a ticket, and I have no problem with people charging that much. I mean, some people it's worth $10,000, $20,000, and my and I don't have an issue with it. It's just like what I want to offer the world is not something that I can actually offer. Like, I'm not giving you something you don't already have. It might be an experience or an education or something like that, but I believe that everybody has the answers within them. And if you have the simple tools to access those answers and the right community, you can access them. And yes, we're going to be doing retreats in the future. But what I was saying is that we primarily are doing things online right now. So, Mobile Homo, I'm offering a free course. I'm already offering it, my friend. January 21st in my school, which is the only place you can get the course, is free to join. By the way, the school is free to join. I'm offering a free human design course for anyone in the school on January 21st. So I have an interest in building affordable treats for everyone. Mobile Homo, how many formerly incarcerated black trans women are in your community? I'm gonna go with none. I haven't we don't really seek to connect with each other based on those kinds of identities. I can't hear you for some reason. Judy. Ah, interesting. Yeah, Ishan, can you hear me in the school here, bro? Yeah, it might be hop out and hop back in, Judy. That you hopefully that works. Are you live elsewhere? I don't see the question. Yeah, I'm live in a bunch of different places right now. Desmonay, what's up? Keep going. I can hear you. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Yeah. Like anyone that really wants to learn human design, I would just say get the book or get my report or get neutrino design and just start like small. Ask yourself the question is like, what is it that I want this thing to tell me? Or what is it kind of validation? Do I want support? Do I want understanding? And just like literally just bit by bit, the same way you would eat a meal or learn a language, start with the basic stuff. It's strategy and authority, right? Learn your strategy and authority. And for a month, don't try and learn everything about your human design. Just see how well you apply your strategy and authority. Reflect and journal often. That's how I learned. So, how do I become more like Marco? First, my friend, you have to learn how to braid your hair like a native warrior boy. Um, okay. Do I need to click anywhere to get sound? It should just be automatic, Judy. Are you calling? Are you checking in on your phone? Sometimes too, you might have to like reset your phone or update school because these school calls happen on school, which also I'm very curious of the quality here on school because I'm using my fancy camera and I'm also using my fancy microphones on school. So I have a question. I'm a mental projector. I only have two top centers fixed, literally no inner authority, insights, or suggestions. Aha. So I also have the no inner authority thing. No inner authority is sort of misleading, I think, because the concept of inner authority in human design, right, is that you have one of these centers in your body graph that is defined, meaning it's like consistent. So whether it's your solar plexus, whether it's your heart, whether it's your spleen or your sacral, you have a sort of true north that no matter what's going on in the external world, you're able to tap into that true north. For the mental projectors and reflectors, however, instead of seeing it as no inner authority, I look at all of my organs and all of my centers as my authority. In that, this is the name of the book, real quick. Human Design, The Science of Differentiation. Link is in my bio. Take a screenshot. 3, 2, 1, okay. But when it comes to like actually connecting to what is correct for me, because that's what the inner authority is supposed to do for us as human beings, is to help us connect with our inner authority, the thing that is actually true for us, instead of looking to the external world as of like, oh, should I do this? Should I do that? It's sort of like an extra step. I tune into my heart the same way somebody with heart authority or ego authority would. I tune into my solar plexus the same way somebody with solar plexus authority would. However, I'm not necessarily just looking for the hit of emotional wave, sacral, yes or no. I'm looking for the threads to the external world. And I'm temporarily sort of like isolating and cutting themselves off. It's like an elimination diet, right? Like if you're having an allergic reaction and you don't know what it is that's causing the reaction, you one by one eliminate grains, and then you eliminate dairy, and then you eliminate meat until you figure out what is the thing that is causing it. And so when it comes to mental or having no inner authority, it's a process by which you're looking at the way your authority has been conditioned. So, for instance, you might be a mental projector, but you might make a lot of your decisions based off of the emotional authority. You might have these emotional waves, get to the end, get to the point of clarity, and make the decision. There's an extra step: reflect, soundboard. I recommend what I do, and I have this template available in the school on the premium side in the archive. Is I will talk to a template. I will talk to a Notion page, and I will just log all of my information. Now, I don't have an AI hooked up to it that would, how you say, that feeds it back to me and asks me questions. I'm not really interested in that. I'm interested in me talking so that I can understand myself, so that I can read. I don't want the AI to do the analyzing for me. I think in a lot of ways people are robbing themselves of of the opportunity to self audit and self reflect with AI. I don't think AI is bad. I just think people are using it to do things that your body can do faster, more quickly, more efficiently. Yeah. So anyway, love that. I'm having trouble with that reflector 2.4. Yeah, and that's the thing is like me and Pasha created the archive as a way for everybody that wants to study human design to be able to connect with the physical organs in their body that human design talks about. This system says, hey, we can help you surrender to your form, to your physical body. And yet it's all mental head nausea stuff. And that's not a bad thing. It's just like a tree is more than what you can see. There's roots to it. And so in order to surrender to your form, your physical body has to feel safe. Most people don't feel safe dropping into their body. That's why things like smelling, swallowing, and puffing out the cheeks is challenging for people, right? That's why they're easily overstimulated, because they're just floating heads. They're not actually in their bodies. I was, thankfully enough, indoctrinated into martial arts very early on. And so I learned very quickly, when you're in a fight, you can be up in your head, but it's much faster to just be in your body and be in your senses and be in your reflexes. And so we have all kinds of drills that target the throat center, that target the heart center. This week we were doing drills in the heart center because the transits are the heart center, that help you guys to actually physically embody your human design rather than just relying on all the information that you've gathered. Are the gates transits consistent with planetary transits? Would Mercury going into Sagittarius resemble gate 26 to gate 11? Just curious to see the parallels in human design and astrology in the body graph. Yeah. So because we're using the tropical system in human design for the transits, they're going to correlate with the shifts. Now, it's different because in human design, we focus more on the rave mandala and the gates of the I Ching, whereas with astrology, they're looking at degrees of the houses, moving through the houses. Another interesting thing is that human design doesn't take into account as much the geometries. So things like squares, right? So you have Mercury over here squaring Venus, right? Or in opposition to Venus. We don't necessarily take those things into account as much, because neutrinos are very interesting subatomic particles, and this is kind of the how you say the fringe part of human design that I love so much, is that neutrinos, unlike light and photons, move through things. They don't bounce off of them. And so when neutrinos are created and they blast out into the universe, they're not bouncing off of things and creating all these angles in the same way that light is doing that. And I don't necessarily have any answers about that, but there are a lot of parallels between astrology and human design. Like if you look here, right, you'll see this inner ring. It's kind of small, but that inner ring shows the zodiac signs, all the 12, the 12. But we're looking at the outer ring, which is the I Ching or the Rave I Ching, which is the human design interpretation of the original I Ching. I've never really got that deep into astrology, Sean. It was, for me, I'm a Pisces, Libra, Virgo. And I thought it was interesting, but that's kind of where it ended. I was like, oh, it's interesting. It's yes, I'm poetic. Yes, I'm deep. Yes, I'm sensitive. And even when human design, I was like, oh, this is interesting. I'm a reflector. I'm the 1%. I'm sensitive. I'm going to reflect my environment. Like it resonated, but there wasn't necessarily anything for me to like bite into. And that's when I met Pasha, and he was like, oh, I do biomechanics and I know human design. I grew up, my mom is a reflector, and she taught me everything about human design. And so we were able to ask that question of like, why do people know so much about human design, but they still can't follow their fucking strategy and authority? They still can't recognize and see when their conditioning is driving, when their not self is driving. And the answer that we've ultimately come up with is that you cannot surrender to a form unless you feel safe. And you will not feel safe in your body if you never go there, if you do not access sensation, if you're constantly running away from overstimulation and stress, from being seen. People are robbing themselves with their relationship to their integrity by buying into the spiritual bypass bullshit. The more you focus on individual healing, the more skin and fractures he will create in the collective. Man, mobile homo, I really wanted to be inviting here. What wisdom do you teach about how to avoid using these tools for spiritual bypass? Yeah, I don't know if you're picking up what I'm putting down, but there's a difference between real trauma, like lived trauma somatically in the nervous system, and people spiritually bypassing. My whole point is to like help people be in the real reality rather than living out the trauma. Because just because a space feels unsafe to you or somebody else doesn't mean that there's inherent danger or threat in the space. And it's through this collective awareness of like who feels safe, who doesn't feel safe. Because there's people that no matter where you put them, they're gonna feel unsafe. It's not about the environment that they're in. It's the fact that their nervous system feels unsafe. And it doesn't mean they're not worthy of love. It just means that, hey, we need to work on the nervous system. We don't need to start changing the environment so this person feels safe. We actually need to get this person to register the difference between real safety and not safety. Yeah, mobile. So mobile homo, come. I'm like, come see what we do. We're doing it in community. We're doing it in collective. Yeah, that's. I find this kind of stuff is so funny, man. Anyway, also suggestions for helping the nervous system. Yeah, so we have a lot of we have so much training for the nervous system in the archive, guys. The whole point of it is to actually upgrade and tap into the unused part of the nervous system of your nervous system in order to create the manifestation of your human design. It penetrates the realms of Reiki. It penetrates the so many different realms. Like everything is attempting to like work on this bridge between the immaterial and the material. Yeah. You just said you find it funny that I'm struggling with healing in the collective. Well, soft and full. Mobile homo. This is the last thing I'm going to say, man. Or ma'am. Whatever. You're coming in here trying to promote something instead of actually listening to what I have to say and applying some of the methods. Like, I don't know what to tell you. It's funny that people will come wanting people to change without looking at themselves and asking, what is it that I can shift? And what is it that I can learn here? And I'm like, I do that as much as I can. Any ways to learn Reiki on ourselves for healing the body and pain? Yeah, so like Reiki is Reiki, Rei, universal life force, Ki, energy, right? Reiki is the reason you're alive. Everyone is channeling Reiki right now. And all you have to do to tap into it a little bit more is just rub your hands together, build up some heat, and take your hands and just put them somewhere on your body. That's it. That's it. There's a whole lineage of Reiki, of healers, of people that are practicing this. And depending on, again, your body's allowance of healing, that is going to determine sort of the stories you tell about it. Right? Like you can't change the past, but you can change the story that you tell about the past. The more compassionate and also the more real you can be with what happened in the past, the better chances you have of taking steps towards the thing that you want. Because there's the thing. Most people want something and they're really clear on what they want, but they don't actually know where they're at. And they're unwilling to accept where they're at. And if you're curious if you have any of that in your system, turn your head all the way to the left, smell, swallow, puff your cheeks out with air, and then swallow again without losing the pressure in your cheeks. If that's challenging for you, it means there's a part of your body that doesn't feel safe going into rest and relaxation, accessing your parasympathetic nervous system. And so you stay stuck. You're not stuck. You're just choosing it habitually because that's the thing that feels the safest. You stay stuck in fight or flight. You stay stuck in focus. You stay doom scrolling. You stay complaining about shit rather than actually taking the steps necessary to work on your nervous system. And you're going to encounter resistance. I encounter resistance all the time from the external world, from the internal world, because you will stay in a shitty situation if it's familiar, even if it's shitty. Even if it's shitty, you will blame external things as opposed to, oh man, where are the blocks inside my own body? Why is the squalling part that we can't the swallowing part that we can't do when we're unregulated? So human beings, we operate on feedback, right? Like we have this ability to take in everything we see, smell, and taste. This is called the trigeminal nerve, wraps up around the ear, comes down the side of the neck. Okay. This is also how we get food into our system. This is also how we tell people, hey, back up, right? So this is the juncture of where all the what we call afferent feedback information is going to get into our system and brought down into our organs. Now, the problem and why swallowing is an indicator that you might not be able to process things, or why a lot of people who have depression, anxiety, or stuck in victim mentality, or are, whatever, have issues, mental health, emotional health, problems regulating, is simply because these pathways are never used, right? Like think about it. When's the last time you had your head turned all the way to the left and you had to swallow? For most of you, probably never, because you're used to eating the food that's in front of you, consuming the thing that's in front of you. You never had to live a situation where you're sitting at a party or something like that, and you're having to use your peripheral vision to make sure that nobody is coming up and going to attack you. Right? Most of us live very cushy lives, straight up, very cushy lives. I was trained in martial arts. And so it's like we would do drills where we'd be fighting one guy and then we'd have all the guys around us. We'd be fighting one guy, okay? And then another guy would come from the back, push us, and then start hitting us. And you know what this trained? This trained a full spectrum of peripheral awareness in my body. and I got hit and I got cut and I got stabbed and I got knocked out and I got my ego bruised. But I have a sense of awareness that most people don't have because they're afraid to get hit. And so swallowing is one of the ways that we're going to get that information into our body. Turning the head to the side is one of the ways that we're going to expand what we get from here, right? Focused blinders, to actually absorbing all of this right here. And if you want to know what I'm talking about here, just take your eyes, focus on your phone, which you're probably already doing right now. Now what I want you to do is look through your phone and see everything in your peripheral, see everything around the phone. The phone should double in your vision. And now what you're doing is you're seeing everything around. Now smell, swallow, and blow a cool stream of air like you're blowing out candles. Soften your gaze just a little bit more. More soft, more soft. Good. Now on the next smell, cross your eyes and look up. Cross them hard. This will probably give you a headache, might make you a little dizzy. That's okay. Swallow. Blow out the candles. Smell again. Come back and focus on your phone. This one right here is the one that most people are really, really comfortable with. They're too comfortable with this one. Oh, thanks, bro. I don't know why I muted myself on school. How did that happen? This is the one that most people are way too comfortable with, is focus. When they go into peripheral, they feel disoriented. When they go into this convergence, which this is how you find center, by the way, or one of the ways that you can find center, they get disoriented. And so it's literally just a matter of practicing being in the peripheral and in the convergence, which means you have to let go of focus. You have to let go and get outside a little bit of your safety zone. Being afraid to get hit is my number one reason for being hit in a fight. Once I accept, I focus. Exactly. Like if you're thinking about not getting hit, guess what? You're manifesting getting punched in the fucking face. Any insights on mythology / the Godhead as a source of inspiration before the physical? Oh, yes, dude. So the Godheads are really interesting in human design. You can think of it like possession, right? The personality sun crystal is going to be your Godhead. Mine's Mithra. And these are archetypal energies that human beings have created stories around, but they're actually archetypal energies. So even though we say Mithra, really it's the embodiment that Mithra represents. It's the source that Mithra comes from. Mithra is sort of the emanation in the human translation of the energy that we're talking about. But effectively, what you're looking at is that's where like the source of your mind comes from. You know what I mean? So it's like Mithra's energy is going to sort of try and take control of my body if the relationship between my body and my mind are not harmonized. That's one of the reasons why the not self grabs the wheel a lot. Because if you have Kali, for instance, as your Godhead, your mind is going to be flavored by that Kali energy. And anytime you deviate from the Kali path, that's one of the comparisons. It's like, well, hey, we're not doing the Kali thing. It's like, we're not Kali. We're this one. What is yours, by the way? My brother Ishan, let me know your Godhead. That's cool. My not self is bitterness. Yeah. And a lot of the time the bitterness comes as a result of, for projectors, it's just giving your time to people that aren't really asking for your time, nor can they reciprocate or respect or recognize the value of your energy. Makes me think of looking through a windshield as a kid, finding focus on different things. Yeah, so it's funny. It's like as a kid, I remember I used to look at things that were really far away, and then I would look at things that are really close. And here, look what my eyes would do. I'd go like this. Watch it as it goes. Whoa, 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 whoa. In the archive, we do saccades, which are eye drills, which help to regulate your body. It's very simple. What can I do when I feel disconnected from my body and reality? Like it all feels like a dream. So derealization, same as dysregulation. The idea is to get back into your body. So my favorite thing when I'm feeling like life is dreamy and I want to be in the body, because that's not always a bad thing, feeling like life is dreamy. But what I will typically do is I actually have some. Where's my ball? There it is. I have a bigger one of these. Sensation. You anchor yourself in sensation, right? This is why people stim, right? They're just doing it inefficiently. There's another way to stim called Tai Chi, meditation, martial arts, right? And the beauty of being able to disassociate is that you're not tied to the physical limitations of the body. But if you want to get back in your body, stimulation. One of the greatest forms and underrated things that you can do if you deregulate a lot or derealize a lot. There's so many different words for the same fucking thing. Come back here. Where are you going? Sneaky. Okay. Carry around some kind of essential oil. And when you're feeling like you're popping out of your body, whip out the essential oil, smell, swallow, puff your cheeks out as you blow a cool stream of air. And then focus on something. You can focus on your hand, you can focus on an object, but anchor yourself into your bodies. Oh, I did that in school with the alcohol. Oh my God. I would probably say I don't recommend smelling alcohol wipes. That might make you dysregulate more. But smell something that's not going to kill brain cells. That's so funny, dude. I think Harmonia. How do I add that setting on the Neutrino app? I just saw Joy do it. So if you, everything is probably going to be in the gear, like in the top right corner is the gear. You should be able to customize your, like what you see in there. Oh, it's the mandala view. That's the one. Yeah, Oracle, that was funny. I'm all for a laugh, man. I'm all for a laugh. Isn't the trick to actually be able to identify when you are disembodied? Yeah, so, and that's the great thing. Like, you know, the ability, thanks for bringing that up, Val, or Vet. Thanks for bringing that up, Vet. The ability to identify, oh my gosh, I'm dysregulating, is an awesome thing. But alone, it's not, it's like, oh great, you can identify that you're dysregulating. And this is what a lot of, I feel like, you know, you see a lot of spiritual people, and when we talk about spiritual bypassing, what we're talking about is like not being able to see the impact that you're making on others, not being able to recognize the impact that you're having on yourself. And that's the primary one. A lot of people are, and these are where the activists come in, they're very focused on the impact that other people are having on other people, but they're not aware, or they're not interested in the impact that they are having on themselves. They put more value in our impact on other people than the impact on ourselves. The reason we impact other people unconsciously is because we're unaware of the impact that we have on ourselves. Most of the time. Like 90% of the time. That's what it is. I'm hurt and hurting, but I'm a healer, so I'm gonna take care of the collective. But I'm still fucking hurt and hurting. And I'm actually using taking care of the collective as a way of bypassing my own hurt. And so when you identify that you're disembodied, first of all, you have to recognize it's not a quote unquote bad thing that you're disembodied. Some people are legitimately here, and they are designed more so for being up in non-physical spaces. I'm one of those people. And because of that, I am probably one of the most grounded human beings that you will ever meet. So if you go up really high and you're like super psychic, and you keep telling yourself, oh my God, I'm just so, you know, I'm a triple Pisces and a super psychic and very sensitive, like, yeah, okay, that's how you're gonna live. That's what astrology tried to tell me. That's what human design tried to tell me. I said, yeah, but I'm also a warrior. I'm also, why the fuck am I letting this system tell me who I am? Let me dig deeper. And what I found, I share it in the archive. I share it with here on live. I share it as freely as I can. Can you tell me about my split definition? My 3-year-old has this. Yeah, so split definition means you've got like head and ajna connected, and you got solar plexus and root connected, but they're not connected to each other. So people with split definition, will sometimes get diagnosed with bipolar disorder, because that's kind of what it is. You know, it's a disconnection within the body, or rather it's a really intense connection between like your head and your ajna and your solar plexus and your root, or in how you say, biological terms, your face and your brain and your nervous system and your adrenals, right? It's a pairing of those. And because of that, there's sort of this orbiting that's going around. And so for people with split definition, you know, you might have to try something twice before you realize you like it. You might have to hear a situation multiple times before you actually get clarity on whether or not, you know, you want to do it or not. So with split definition, again, there's a layer of experiencing it from a variety of different standpoints, and the experience of yourself being different people based off of your interactions with others. And everyone has this to a degree. Most people have undefined centers. Everybody has undefined gates and hanging gates and incomplete channels, meaning that when you are around other people, they are going to hook you up in different ways. And if you allow them to hook you up in different ways, and you have this awareness of like, hey, this is my baseline when I'm alone, and then this is who I am when I'm with people. And the best way to do that, again, eye exercises before going in, pressure exercises as you leave, little somatic anchors in your body so that you can just remember whose body you're in, so that you don't end up taking home anything that you meant to leave at the party. So as a reflector, I can still generate my own energy. Yep, 100%. And that's one of the things that I have, one of the issues I take with a lot of popular human design stuff is the enabling of the low energy reflector. Like, I have a lot of energy. I'm a dad. I'm an entrepreneur. I have 2 businesses. I have 2 children. I like martial arts. I like to do things. Having undefined centers doesn't mean you don't have energy. It means your energy is inconsistent. And it means that you're oftentimes going to spend your energy doing the things that other people think are good for you or are good for them, as opposed to doing the things that are good for you. Because here's the reality, like, you might have no energy at all, right? Think about this. You get home after work, you're tired as all hell. And your friend hits you up and says, hey, our favorite band is in town. I got us tickets. I got us VIP tickets. You don't need nothing. You don't need sleep. You don't need food. Your excitement, your desire, the fact that you would go, like, oh, I'm stoked to go see this person, to go to this event, because that's my favorite music group. You're up. You generate energy. People think energy comes from sleep, comes from food, comes from any of that. They're limited. They're so limited. It's crazy. It doesn't, I mean, that helps for sure, but you can generate energy out of nothing. Now, the thing about having the undefined centers, like I was saying, is, let's say your friend is really excited to see them. That's your friend's favorite band, and they're really excited to see them. You kind of enjoy them because your friend is into them. When you feel that surge of energy, that might be your friend's surge. They're sharing their surge with you, and you can ride that energy. But if you habitually do that and you have no way of checking in with yourself, like, hey, I can see you're really excited. Give me a moment to just check in with myself to see if I want to push the limit. And if you're not able to differentiate their energy and excitement from your own, that's what conditioning is. Does that make sense? So the more anchors, the more ways you have to come back to yourself, the better off you're going to be. Oh my God, that's me. Yeah. Anyway, I'm hopeful that helped. How can one not pick up other people's energy or try to comparative not to take their energy with you, or negative energy that they're projecting onto you? So the reality is, the first layer is awareness, right? Oh, someone's projecting negative energy onto me. The second layer is accountability. I got close enough that this person projected their energy onto me. Like, you think about it, like, you go to SeaWorld, right? Or you go to the zoo, and they have a zone labeled splash zone. People will sit in the splash zone and then get upset that they got wet. Like, dude, you sat in the splash zone. The fuck are you upset about? What people are really upset about, deeper down, I believe, is that they lack the awareness to position themselves in a place that is like actually correct for them. They lack the awareness and the courage to say, oh, hey guys, I don't want to sit in the splash zone. I don't want to sit in the splash zone. I'm going to go sit up there. You guys have fun. What they'll do is they'll say, oh guys, this is not, let's go up there. We can see it better. Like they're unwilling to be alone. And so they will go and try and again, manipulate the group so that they can get their needs met instead of taking care of their own needs. The rain sounds so nice. Oh yeah. I'm a mental projector and I never have energy. It pains me a lot. So what are your ways of generating energy? It's called the fellow herd effect. Yeah, makes sense. Herd, and people are herd animals. We're tribal animals, you know? People choose suffering and their reality doesn't meet their expectations. Or it does, right? Like they just don't, they're not aware that they're choosing suffering. And they're not aware, this is the thing, they're not aware that there's another option. They're not aware of it. Our society does a really good job of flooding us with so many, oh, this is how to love yourself. This is how to have the body of your dream. This is how to, I love it. And we're not being given at scale, hey, there's the door. There's the exit to the matrix. Because why would a cattle farmer tell his cattle how to escape? Wants to farm you. Most of us we're cattle. But it's because we act like cattle that we're cattle. If you start acting like a human being, there's not much they can do. This is why, for me, dismantling the patriarchy, dismantling oppression, you don't need to do that in the external world. It has to happen on an internal world. And then you start finding people that are also doing that. And we have to create a new system that makes the old one obsolete. So many people are focused on fighting something. That's where they derive their identity from, not self-behavior. So, to answer the question of how do you prevent people from projecting negative energy onto you, you don't. You just become stronger so that it doesn't affect you as much. That's it. Like when anyone projects things onto me, I'm like, oh, cool. Let me see what this is about. Oh, wow, you can actually destabilize me and debalance me. My friends do this to me all the time. Pisses me off. I want to choke them sometimes. But that's why I choose them as friends. Because I don't want to be in an echo chamber of like, oh yeah, Marco, you're great. That's perfect. I've been the echo chamber for so many people, and I hate being surrounded by it. Sometimes we fight so hard for something, we are actually building the walls to keep it away. Well, exactly. Nikki, so many people are putting walls up to protect themselves, and they're unintentionally keeping out people that want to give them things, people that have gifts. So derealization is not specifically a bad thing. No, it's like when I meditate, I derealize. I travel, I let go of my connection to my body, but my body is strong and it just sits there. And it waits for me, and it's safe. If it hears a sound, I pull my consciousness back into my body and I respond to the sound. Derealization, a lot of the mental health stuff, it's not a neurodivergence. It's not like a disease or anything. It's not. It's just not necessarily something that like you need other people to get. I don't know if that makes sense. Most people are looking for people to relate with. Oh, you're like that too? I'm like that. I'm psychic. I have no energy. Oh my God. Projectors love to do this. And it's the crabs in a pot. Oh my God, I'm a projector, you're a projector, your friends don't listen to you, mine don't either. Oh my God, they're so stupid. Why don't they just listen to us? Crabs in a pot. If you boil one crab, you have to have a lid on the pot because the crab will crawl out. If you put a second crab in there, the crabs will keep each other in the pot. You don't need a lid. Misery loves company, not self loves company. It wants to drag other people into the pot. So if you find yourself in a pot of crabs, remember, you're not a fucking crab. And you might be unconsciously pulling people into the same delusion that you're attempting to escape or trying to help people. The more we face and stop fearing our own shadows, the less fear the shadows of others. Yes and no. Like, here's the thing, guys. You will never beat fear. You will never get to the point. And if you do get to the point, you're probably like so far up your own ass, you will never eliminate fear. You do not want to eliminate fear or anxiety or moodiness. That's like saying, oh, this person's allergic to peanuts, so now no one can have peanuts. We're just going to eliminate peanuts because someone's allergic. Oh, this person doesn't like loud music, so we're not going to play loud music because this person, it makes them feel uncomfortable. Oh, that word over there, we don't like that word, so no one can use that word, and if you do, we'll unalive you. Got to be mindful with my word choices here. You do not want to eliminate fear in your life. You want to become attuned to it, and you want to use it to cultivate courage. Courage is the presence of fear, but the willingness to move forward anyway. Everybody is looking for this fucking super spiritual, like, safe space so that they can finally be themselves. It does not exist. You have to create it. You have to let go of the idea that people are trying to oppress you, because that mental is in your head first. And when you let go of this idea that people are trying to oppress you, then suddenly it's like you stop oppressing yourself. Kind of like a physics equation. The mind can, but it's very hard. The mind has a really challenging time distinguishing the difference between what's going on out there and what's going on in here. It can do that, but it needs embodiment. It needs somewhere to go other than out there. It needs to be able to go inward. That's where it was designed to go in. Fear is the mind killer. Gotta let it move over you and through you, and only you shall remain. Yes, exactly. That's what that's about. That's what the litany against fear. Notice, it's not the litany to eliminate fear. It's, I must let the fear move through me. I must metabolize the fear into something greater. I've been speaking this into my partner. He really struggles with his MS and relational trauma. MS, like multiple sclerosis? Is that what you're saying? Vivian, sorry, I'm just seeing your comment here, sis. Hopefully you're still here. In your opinion, do you think it would be more beneficial to unschool/self learn a role model hermit manifestor with strategy to inform? I was so sure this is what I wanted for him before learning about all this, and now I'm not so sure. Honestly, here's the thing about school. School is not designed to educate children. School is designed to teach children how to become members of society. That is the function of our current school system. Education means to lead out from within. Education, educo, to lead. The process of leading something out from within. You might have answered it with the fear thing. Yeah. So here's the thing, right? Like, you could send your kid to school and you can be in this like, oh, school is terrible and it's an indoctrination thing and blah, blah, blah. Or you could send your kid to school and when they get back, hey, honey, what did you learn in the indoctrination camp? Great. What came up for you? Great. Who are you? Right? Do you love how do you love yourself? How do you feel? Like, you can show them how to take a bad situation. What do they say? Make lemonades. You got lemons, make lemonade. And all it takes is a little sugar. Excuse me. You just got to be sweet. You just got to be compassionate. And that's the thing, is like, the easy thing to do is when someone hits you in the face is to hit them right back. The harder thing to do is to say, hey, thank you for showing me that you're really upset about this. And take it from there. I've diffused a lot of fights in my life because when someone was upset, instead of preparing to fight them, I made myself open. I said, hey, I'm ready to receive you. I'm gonna only give you back what you give to me. And I have martial arts training too, so I think it's communicated when I'm ready to fight. It's not like I'm about to black out and you're about to go down. It's like, hey, if I have to put you on the ground and put my knee on your chest to prevent you from hurting yourself or me or people I care about, I will do that. But I'm not going to attempt to hurt you the same way that you're hurting me. We are the containers of change and alchemy. And if you can't handle the intensity, it's not get out of the kitchen. It's, hey, maybe move away from the oven a little bit. But like, don't jump out of the pot. Learn how to deal with the intensity. And that's what we teach. That's what we teach in the archives, how to deal with intensity. How to deal with the static and the confusion. Because again, crabs in a pot, people are confused. They want other people to be confused so they don't feel alone. The only way to help those people is to let them be alone though, because they can handle it too. I'm in Hawaii, and yes, it's gorgeous. That's what I do with my little sister. Yes, it's great. And we are lit today, are we not, my friends? Are we not lit? Oh, someone just gave me a heart, I think. Thank you for that. So hot right now. It's the lights, guys. It's the lights. Give it up for the lights. I want to say too, like, Pasha and I started the archive as a community a year ago. Today is the anniversary. It's the anniversary of the archive. A year ago today, we started the archive as a community. Prior to that, it was a like course. You know, we were teaching people biomechanics. It has evolved so much in just this past year, allowing the community element of it to grow. Like I genuinely met people through the archive. Like, they joined my community. They were followers of me. They joined my community. They fucked with our work. And now we talk on a daily basis. Shout out Joy, Erica. The gang. Kim, what's up, Mom? It's the anniversary of the archive. Would you believe that? I didn't even realize it. I'm so stoked on it, though. It's been a really good live, too. Thank you so much for bringing all of this to us. Yeah. You're welcome, Nikki. You know, the reason I do this, guys, is because when I was, like, learning about spirituality for the first time, it was like me at 20 years old, 19, 20 years old. And I was in a room with, like, 5 other women, one of which was my teacher, and they were all in their 40s, between 40 and 60 years old. So it's just like me as like a, you know, young male adult with a bunch of women learning Reiki. And more than anything, I just wanted someone that I can relate to, because I love these women and I love what was going on. I love the things they were sharing about, the chakras, the energy, the healing. But it didn't have the flavor for me that I was like, oh, these are my people. It's like this is my mom. These are my aunties, and I love that. And I know that to change the world, we need young people in music. And I knew that a lot of the stuff isn't going to resonate with the young people. I'm so grateful now that it's starting to resonate with young people. And unfortunately, there's still a lot of like really fluffy stuff or very like serious, and not that any of it is misleading, but just for me, you're not really going to catch me in much of that. You'll catch me doing like somatic healing techniques and learning about neuroscience and questioning scientists and you know, working with new modalities to see what's legit, right? You'll see me swinging a hammer around or swinging a rope dart or dancing or singing. That's it. I'm not have my nose in the book. I know this stuff because I'm a good observer of people. It's not because I'm special and I'm a reflector, although I am. What was the initial thing that drove you the direction of spirituality at a young age? I had a journey with, let me see, do I have any here? No. My daughter sometimes, she has these little mushrooms. I was in college and someone invited me to partake in some psychedelic medicine. And I partaked, and I'd never done that before. And what I felt was the most connected I've ever felt in my entire life. And then I did it. I woke up the next day and I was like, why have you abandoned me, God? And I tried to get back there with the medicine. I tried to get back there with meditation. I tried to get back there with so many different things. And I couldn't get there. And then I got really depressed and anxious and stopped eating food. I was starving myself. I started doing dangerous stuff, like getting really, and then going out into the woods late at night and being like, I'll just die out here. And I never did, but I didn't want to live anymore. So I was considering taking my own life. And my mom called me and she was just like, hey, how are you doing? And I couldn't hold it back because I knew out of all the people in the world, my mom cared the most about me. And I couldn't lie to her and tell her that I was okay. So I broke down and I cried and I told her I'm not doing well and that I don't know what to do. And she goes, just drop out. Drop out, me and your dad will come get you. And they came and got me. And I was depressed for a couple weeks being back home, but at least I was with my family. And then my mom was like, I think you need to do Reiki. And I was like, I don't know what Reiki is, but I'm open because I still don't feel like being alive anymore. And I lay down and got the Reiki. And it was like I felt the connection again. And I was like, whoa, there it is. Yay. Oh God. I need to learn how to do this. And that was in 2012. So that was 2012 for me. And yeah, it's a tender story. And it feels so far away. It feels so far away. Like I've come so far, and that's why I do this, because I want people to have it. Yeah, my mom is awesome. Kim is also like my mom here. Kim Irshon, that's Pasha's mom. My reflector mom. What's in this oil, man? Pine. "13 years is far. I feel like 2024 was light years away. It moves differently now." Yeah, and now I have children. And I was so afraid of becoming a dad. I was like, no, I'm not ready. I need to do more healing. I have a mission in the world. Before I have children, I need to accomplish my mission. And now I have the same mission, but I have little girls now, two little girls that make it so much more meaningful and harder. Like I wake up at fucking 2 in the morning to hold a toddler or she's not a newborn, a baby over a toilet because I want her to know at 5 months old that she can tell me her needs, like literal needs. She has to poop, and I can make her needs. I can help her meet her needs because she actually can't meet her needs right now. She's a baby. She can't poop for herself. I mean, she can poop in a diaper, but I can make it less uncomfortable for her. And I can give her an opportunity to develop communication with me at 5 months old. This is something I didn't do with my firstborn because I was too far up my own ass thinking like, oh, well, that takes a lot of time and I don't want to wake up that early and she'll be fine. She'll just poop in diapers. And I still feel guilty about that. But I use it as motivation to when it's 2 in the morning and I don't want to wake up and do the poopy thing. I'm like, the guilt, Marco, the guilt. Motivation is my guilt in human design, and I've learned how to leverage it. I've had that feeling my entire life. I don't feel like I belong here. I don't want to be here. Yeah, so I get that. I totally get that. And I pray that you can find something, even if it's something small, inside yourself. Like, be really sweet to the tip of your pinky finger for the next week. Just be like, oh, you're the best pinky finger in existence. I remember seeing little rainbows shooting out of my fingers when I first got my Reiki attunement, which was really cool. It's one of the few times that I actually see Nora's. And yeah, it was I get what it's like to feel like you don't belong here and like you don't want to be here, but there's something so special on the other side of that feeling of like, hey, find a reason to be here. Find a reason to be here. For me, that was practicing Reiki, being in meditation, and creative writing as well. I would journal a lot and I would write stories. I'd build characters and I'd build worlds, and that was like my one thread of like, if there's any purpose for me here, it's so that I can write the next Harry Potter, which at some point I'm going to release a book. Maybe once I have millions of followers and 30 children. I don't know if I want 30 children, but however many children I have. I feel like at a later part of my life when I'm less involved here, that there's going to be a chapter where I'm actually going to release books. But I do have music out today. If you guys are interested in my music, I do have music today. I'm going to play just a little snippet of it because I want to hear it and I like my own music now. I wrote this song when I first came to Maui. And I'm also just curious if you guys will be able to hear it. But if you go to the links in my bio, you can also listen to this music as well. Where is it? Where is it? There it is. I don't know if you guys will be able to hear this, but Coco Bones, that's my name. Does it sound okay or does it sound terrible? Only the path that I could walk, you never stray. It is the one I walk until the end of the day. This is the way. Baby, you said you wanna go
Find out if the blood inside you is warm. Love her right as she runs away, right into the sun where she likes to stay. Won't be too long before I lose my mind. Temptation so pure, set my soul on fire. Baby, I can tell you on a cruise, should we go for a ride? Should we go for a ride? Baby, I can tell you on a cruise, should we go for a ride? Should we go for a ride? I'm sitting at keys, point you out in a crowded room.
Now he's the best.
So easy for me to notice when you lose your
But not as well just like listen to the rest of the song, right? I'll jump back on it when it's done.
Pull up, wait for a minute. Got a hot second to be up in my feelings. Force so strong, like the waves, like I'm chilling. In the mouth of draws, that tsunami I be spilling. That she need a plug, I slid it. Sweetie, having fun, I'm feeling. Might have got a vibe, I'm getting to know when she goes away. I know the moon, she cannot stay, and that's okay, baby. I can tell you on a cruise, should we go for a ride? Should we go for a ride, baby? I can tell you on a cruise, should we go for a ride? Should we go for a ride?
So that's called Cruise. Thanks for listening, guys. You can stream that right now on Spotify or Apple Music or wherever else you listen to music. You can go stream those. If you want to make music, start singing. Start singing. I started with a guitar, and then I learned drums, then I learned bass, then I learned how to play a little bit of piano, then I learned singing bowls, and then handpans and didgeridoos and flutes, and then I found my voice, and I was like, oh. Then I found my voice, and I was like, oh. Excuse me. My voice has been here the whole time, and I never tapped into it until now, until the past few years of my life, a decade or so. I've been a musician since I was like 14 years old. My first song that I wrote was about a breakup. I accidentally broke up with my first girlfriend, who was awesome, still is awesome, because of a stupid Facebook. Like, she was logged into my computer, and I was talking to one of my friends. I was like, I don't know, like, they're leaving to Japan, and I don't know if we can do a long-term relationship. Maybe I should just leave, and so she can, I was feeling sorry for myself. And then she was like, are we breaking up? And I was like, wait, what? And she's like, you're talking to our friend about breaking up. You're on my Facebook. And I was like, oh, damn it. Anyway, I wrote a song about that. Do I want to collab? I'm always open to collabs. I can't promise that I'm going to be, a very timely collaborator, because I got 2 kids and 2 businesses and a farm to take care of and a lot of stuff going on. But I'm super open. If you want, you can send any music or any like serious inquiries, cocobolinsmusic@gmail.com. You can send me anything. Yeah, it was accidental. It was such a lame thing too, because I was just like, I really like this girl, but it felt like I had already got the ball rolling, because I said some things to my buddy that, it's the thing. Like, I'll say things when I'm in an emotional wave that I don't necessarily mean. And I've learned for myself, and I've seen for other people, that if you just wait to be in front of the person that you're emotional about, and you just like let yourself say all the things that you need to say, but like say it to, the trees or a rock or yourself in a reflection, or the sky, or a hole. Like if you still need to say the things, because if you don't, they get stuck in your throat and you carry them around. Then you come back when you're clear. It like takes a lot of patience, but it's the more responsible thing to do. It has less impact on others. I'm able to actually navigate in a way that I actually get what I want, rather than thinking I know what I want when I really don't know what I want. What's your playlist name on Spotify? I don't know if it's on a playlist, but if you look up Coco Bones, one word, COCOBONES, and also the link in my bio has direct links to my Spotify, which is where it is. But it also has the hyperlink. It's the first button on my website, or on my links page, my link tree in there. Coco Bones, BONES, like, like bones. Cool story behind that. I was working with the ones again, mushrooms, and one of my teachers and friends took me out into the wild. Like, he literally took me out into the wild. We were by a river, built a fire. I was with him and two of my other brothers, and we worked with a lot of the ones. And there was this moment where I was lying on the floor next to the fire, just like shivering. It was cold, but it wasn't like shivering cold, because my friend was over there just like sitting, chilling, watching the fire. But I was moving through some stuff. This is a tuning fork from Biofield Tuning, which is my recommended tuning fork company. I feel like tuning forks are not necessarily like you need the highest quality tuning forks, but the frequencies that they offer are actually legit versus the color-coded chakra ones. D, A, B, those are cool, but they're not necessarily the super healing frequencies. Are you ADHD? What is that? The moment he made an impression and the chicken made noise. Yeah. So anyway, I was having this shivery, shaky experience. And I was looking in the fire, and I was going through a breakup again. And I was like watching my current partner in the fire, like making love to all these other partners. And I saw myself making love with other people. And I was like, oh, this is horrifying. I don't want to see this. And then I went deeper into that. And it was this dark space. And I emerged from the darkness. In me, I said, who are you? And he goes, I'm Coco. I'm you. And I had not really used that name, Coco. That was my dad's nickname, actually. And he goes, I'm Coco. I'm you. And I said, okay. And he goes, but I'm also your father. And I'm also your father's father. And I'm all of your fathers. And I said, okay. And he goes, you're here to sing our songs. And I said, okay, what do you mean? He goes, there's songs that we can't sing because we're busy doing shit. Like, we had to move families across the ocean. We had to work 50 hours a week to take care of the family. We had to we had all this shit to do. We didn't have time or the voices to sing the songs that were in our hearts, and you're here to sing them. And I said, okay, Coco, okay. And then I opened my eyes, and I'm staring at a skeleton, an actual real skeleton. I had shivered and moved, like vibrated away from the fire, and I was looking at this skeleton of a deer. And I said, whoa, Coco Bones. Is that my artist name? Yep. The challenge of creating a little world around you. Yeah, I love the world that I've created for myself. And I tell you guys, it took a lot of work, but I could help you do it in a lot quicker time. It'll still take a lot of work, but I could help you. That's why I have a community, because I'm helping people. And the beauty about it is I don't have to directly help you. If I could just show you how to help yourself, right? Jesus said, give a man a fish, feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish, feed him for his life. We're teaching people to fish specifically for sensation and ways to upgrade their nervous system so that they can deal with intensity in ways that's not running away or trying to attack ferociously the thing that is intense. So that they can learn how to tolerate with patience and grace the things that they want to run away from, so that they can actually chase the things that they want to chase, because they're not so busy running away from the things that scare them, because they have courage. All right, guys, I'm gonna go make some food. My lady and my babies are awake. This is great. Coco Bones reminds me of the characters on Wana. Oh, the Kakamora? Isn't that a very similar to the story in the Disney movie Coco? I've not thought about that in a long time, and I didn't watch that movie super deep, but I will probably have to watch that now. Thanks, guys. Well, this was a lawfully excellent live. A lot of fun, a lot of great questions. How many? Well, we got almost 20,000 likes, which always is insane to me that people are going to touch the screen collectively 20,000 times. I want to start going live again more often. I love this vibe. Shannon, so good to have you here. I'm still trying to get used to having so many chats open. Guys, if you enjoy this, please come join the community, come join the archive, come join our school. It's free to join. We have free training for you. The community itself is free. So many good things that we can just create together if you just start doing these fucking eye drills. And once you see what we're doing here with human design and the sensory training and the biomechanics, it's like you will realize so many of these answers and so much of what you're seeking is in just kind of some void inside you. And that if you just give yourself a little bit of time and love and energy, it doesn't take much, but if you just give that to yourself, life can unfold in a very beautiful way. So with that, guys, thank you so much. I'll see you in school. And don't forget to stream that new Coco Bones release. I got new music popping off every other Friday. So not next Friday, but the Friday after. The Friday after song, they're getting better as I go. This is one of my favorites, but the one that's coming after is like, so anyway, love you guys. I'm going to decompress myself a little bit before I go and see my family. Peace. Whoa, I made 2 cents on that live.